Hey there guys, Robert here, and today me and 11 other people are going to be ranking an album from a sample-based electronic group that are one of the best to ever do it. We'd see them cleverly sample from many different forms of media to generate a wide variety of different moods and emotions, resulting in the creation of what's arguably the gold standard in plunderphonics music. Welcome to episode 14 of Robert's Recharged Megacollabs, where we're going to be ranking the Avalanches' debut album from 2000, Since I Left You. Alright, so for this episode, we're going to be ranking the standard version that contains 18 tracks, so any of the remixes that landed on the 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition will not be included. Now then, on with the ranking. Kicking things off with the first song typed for the number 17 spot, we have Avalanche Rock. This is basically a 22-second interlude that's mainly characterized by the repetition of "Get Avalanche Rock," but I like how it also acts as a nice transition into Flight Tonight. Nothing much for me to say here, so let's just move on. The second song typed for the number 17 spot is Pablo's Cruise. This is my least favorite track on the album by default, as nothing much is going on throughout its 52-second length, other than some nice sample-based electric pianos, bass guitars, beach sounds, and the sound of the titular cruise towards the end. Really cool and atmospheric interlude right there, though. Next, the number 16, we have Diners Only. I think this is the best of the four interlude-type tracks in my opinion. I love the deep R&B vocal sample, and the breaks contrasting well with that nice flute melody and electric pianos. Nothing much for me to say here either, but nice stuff. Next, the number 15, we have Little Journey. Another interlude-type track that I have very low on my ranking by default, but much like those tracks, it's very good all the same. My favorite part of this track is in the first half, where the strings and the titular Journey sample are contrasting very well with the light drumming, and I like how it flows nicely in the upbeat second half of it, where it not only reminds me of being on my way to a party, but it also does a good job acting like a nice build-up into life at Domino's. Next, at number 14, we have Summer Crane. Subjectively speaking, I think this is the worst of the fully fleshed out moments on the album due to the progression on here feeling a little slow-moving, but really, you can put worst in quotations because this is still a great track. I love how relaxing the whole thing sounds just from the first 2 minutes alone with some bird chirping sounds, a nice tambourine, and a beautiful high-pitched flute-like melody to boot. These, combined with some nice guitars and heavenly string sections towards the end, make this track a testament to how stacked the quality of this album can be. Next, at number 13, we have Stay Another Season. This is not better than the title track, which we will absolutely get to later, but this is a great follow-up despite its short length. I like how a bit funky this one feels compared to all the other tracks mentioned here. I also like how it essentially picks up where the opener left off, and the beat here provides a lot of energy and swagger to it. Also really do appreciate the fun horse noises throughout as well. Next, at number 12, we have Tonight May Have to Last Me All My Life. Long title, I know, but that doesn't mean it's any less than stellar either. The big elephant in the room with this one, of course, are the pianos, which are implemented very well here, and they give off an old-timey kind of feel, which I do appreciate a hell of a lot. It's kind of like trying to dig deep to look for good lost memories that you haven't thought about in a long time. Also, yeah, the vibraphones are really cool, because I'm a sucker for vibraphones. The vocals on here are great, and I love that organ at the end as well. Next, at number 11, we have ETOH. To this day, I still don't know what ETOH stands for, and if you do know, let me know in the comments, but this is yet another great track on this album. Big surprise, I know. The beat is sick, the bassline is also sick, and the computer noises are well layered as well, especially with that little symbol of a person talking about technology or something. Furthermore, the vocoders sound very kick-ass, and the flute melody, once again, is also pretty nice. Next, at number 10, we have the closing track, Extra Kings. With this album now being a recent inductee into my small list of albums that I would consider a 10 out of 10, this album should be bound to end on a high note, and man, this track did not disappoint in this regard. From the string sections to that wonderful flute to that "This Is the Day I Met You" sampled hook, this is kind of like a culmination of everything that made this album so special. Phenomenal closer. Next, at number 9, we have Radio. I may have this a bit lower than I have any right to on my own ranking, but I can't lie when I say to you that this track is just as good quality-wise as many of the tracks here. The beat on this track provides the listener with such a nice groove, and much like all the other tracks we've checked out thus far, I love the samples that get integrated here, especially that wah guitar. Next, at number 8, we have Flight Tonight. I can see why someone would find this track annoying, but I personally feel like this is one of the few instances where its sheer repetitiveness works well for this track's benefit. That titular vocal sample acting as this track's hook is pretty infectious, and the other samples and synth pastiches that get thrown into this add on to its fun atmosphere in such a sublime way. Definitely can't get enough of this one. Next, at number 7, we have 2 Hearts and 3/4 Time. This has always been one of the big standouts for me, not because of the fact that it's in the time signature other than 4/4, but because its playful and smooth atmosphere is done so very well to an absolute T. From the "Can't You Hear It" vocal sample that kicks the track off, to these beautiful soulful vocals, electric pianos, and flutes that take up the bulk of the track, this track is the dictionary definition of the word fun, for sure. Next, at number 6, we have Close to You. Ah yes, this one. Remember the beautiful electric pianos and flutes on Diners Only? Well, I'm very pleased to tell you that they make one hell of a comeback here. Which is weird to say since Close to You comes directly before Diners Only, but I digress. For what it's worth though, I love it for feeling like a more fleshed out version of that one interlude, while also including other elements like funky breaks, another really catchy sampled hook in the second half, that dope high-pitched synth solo, and really cool old-timey pianos at the end for good measure. The first song typed for the number 4 spot is Electricity. Man, talk about a track that lives up to its title. This is one of the most colorful and, well, electric sounding tracks this group has ever come up with. The beat here goes hard as hell, the organs are fun to listen to, the bass guitar is also pretty fun, and the vocals here are amazing as well. Especially that soprano opera vocal sample. Literally every single thing about this track is amazing. The second song typed for the number 4 spot is Live at Domino's. And now this is another track that makes me feel like going to a nearby party. What is it with these tracks on this album that captures so many vibes and feelings so goddamn flawlessly? Groovy house-ish beat that's kind of giving Discovery era Daft Punk before Discovery era Daft Punk, sick bassline, G-funk melodies, and string sections galore. Yeah, something tells me that I am so down for this one, man. Kicking off the podium picks on number 3, we have A Different Feeling. One of the more moody type tracks on this album, but definitely yet another excellent offering in that regard. The guitars, reverse string sections, electric pianos, and vocals are all awesome, and this is yet another one of those tracks where it kind of speaks for itself. A great way to start this top 3, even if it doesn't quite make my own top 3. Next, at number 2, we have the opening title track, Since I Left You. Just like how this album ends on an excellent note, it starts on an excellent note as well, and my goodness, what an absolute freaking masterpiece right there. This is honestly the epitome of everything I love about this album, and then some. Especially when it comes down to its emotional power. Heavenly vocals, that sample welcoming the listener to paradise and ensuring that you will have a good time. The way these guys took a sample from a main attraction song to create such a developing yet almost anthemic hook. It basically just has the whole package. This track is their magnum opus and one of my favorite tracks of all time. And finally, at number 1, we have Frontier Psychiatrist, as a surprise to absolutely no one. If you would have asked me for a long time what my favorite track on this album would be, it would have been this one, but it has since been demoted to my second favorite due to personal overplay. Not that I'm complaining though, as I think the number 1 spot is truly deserved. If the title track is my favorite for sheer emotional power alone, then Frontier Psychiatrist is my favorite when it comes to how well they utilize these samples from so many vinyl recordings, mind you. From the Wayne and Schuster samples to the orchestrals taken from an Enoch Light version of My Way of Life by Burt Kaempfert, this track is brilliant all around, and I'm definitely looking forward to listening to this one track, as well as this whole album, many more times throughout my life. Okay, now let's move on to the average rating, and it's a 9.1 out of 10. Yeah, I'm not surprised by this rating, nor am I surprised that all of us unanimously agreeing on this one being at the very least great. Nonetheless, it's pretty well deserved. As per usual, everyone's thoughts on this album, including mine, will be in the description and or pinned comments. Thank you for watching episode 14 of Robert's Recharged Megacollabs. Be sure to be on the lookout for episode 15, where we're going to be ranking fourteenth's There Is Love in You. The form for that will be linked in the description and pinned comment for those interested in participating. The form will be closed 2 weeks from today on February 14th, 2025 at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before I cut to the outro, I would like to announce something regarding my other Megacollabs series, DJ Robbie Bobby Megacollabs, which has been put on hold for a while due to low participation / interest. But I do have good news about it, as it'll be making a comeback sometime this year. Here's the catch though. In order for this channel to not feel too cluttered, new episodes of that series will not be uploaded here anymore. Instead, they'll be uploaded directly to my second channel, Robert Lombardi. In addition, due to a lot of busy things going on in my life, including the spring 2025 semester at my local college getting pretty hectic this time around, I won't be reopening the form for my 8th album, Running for the Hills, until Sunday, June 15th, 2025. I'm aware that it's a while away from now, but since I want to make college as well as other videos coming to this channel a main priority, I think this is for the best. And I want to thank you all so much for the patience and support. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a like, share if you want, and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss videos like this one. You can also follow me on Blue Sky and Instagram, or go listen to my original music on Bandcamp. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.